is about the vicious bone circle of iron stock. Stage 1 for the deviation of the curve. The stage number 2 is to define exactly the different parts of the wedging according with the range of the curve. Stage number 3 is the asymmetrical growing for each vertebra, because you understand with the pressure each vertebra are more large on one side than the other one. Stage number 4 is the wedging of the vertebra and the wedging of the disc. Stage number 4 to define the structural scoliosis. When you want to act in this vicious circle of iron stock for the rehabilitation, you want to do before stage 1 the good assessment and the good diagnosis with an MRI, an X-ray, and some biological assessment. For the stage number 2, you need to know exactly the range of the curve that you have, to know exactly the deviation of the curvature. And to begin to work, you can use the muscular strengthening, the tonification of the muscle, the myofascial stretching, some specific proprioception at different levels, C-spine, T-spine, L-spine, on the sacroiliac, the awareness of principally the scapular girdle, the T-spine, lumbar spine, and the pelvic girdle, some GPS. You have an example here at the level of the fascia of Amanjan, and some GDN, global dynamic normalization. Stage 3 is very important to know the postural problem, to manage the dysymmetry that you have for the vertebra. You know the different assessment for the posturology according with the age of the kid or the adult. After the specific brace could be a hard brace or a brace that I show to you in other Instagram with the strapping, principally to avoid the wedging of the vertebra. And after, in stage 4, to avoid the disc wedging, the most important is the L-DOA. The idea of the L-DOA is to decoapt each vertebra, and you have here an example with a posture between T4 and T5. The goal of all of that is the result to be maintained by specific treatment and exercise to avoid aggravation and maintain the correction of the scoliosis.
Guy, why is intervertebral decoaptation important?
It's important because, according to what you said before, when you compress the disc with scoliosis, they compress and create a curve. The best when you want to reduce the curve is not to try stupidly to work on the other way, is try to elongate. And the best way to elongate is to do the decoaptation. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you have a curve like that, you compress more the disc or the neurologic foramen between a side and the other one, and the decoaptation elongate, give more space for intervertebral disc, more space for the mobility of the nucleus pulposus, try to avoid to pinch a lot of nerve, and so on.